How's it going, everyone? I'm Luxy and welcome back, guys. Today we are going to be doing a mod showcase on EnderTanks. To get started, the introduction of EnderTanks, we have two different items. First one is the EnderTank itself, and the second one is an Ender bucket, and that's it. So how will you craft yourself an EnderTank and an Ender bucket? An EnderTank requires 4 blaze rods, 2 obsidian, a bucket, an ender pearl, and a wool of any color that you want. Whatever color that you have chosen will be the color of the EnderTank. So as you can see here, this orange color one has a code of 111, while the blue one has a code of BBB. While the Ender bucket is crafted by blaze powders, iron ingots, an ender pearl in the middle, and wool as well. Each EnderTank has its own frequency, so in order to change this frequency, you can see here that there are 3 strips of wires surrounding the EnderTank. Right now this one here is brown color, this one here is blue color. So in order to prevent any collision from both of the tanks, they are placed in different colors. You can customize this through different kinds of dyes. So in this chest here, I have the yellow dye, red dye, and green dye. To show you as an example, I'm gonna take the yellow dye, shift right click on one of the wires, and it changes color. Shift right click with the red, and green. It can be all green, it can be all red, and as such, whatever you like. Imagine if I were to have an ender bucket on me right now. You don't actually have to worry about this, because if I were to shift and right click on a ender tank that has been set to code DED in this case, which is green, red, green, it automatically changes to green, red, green on the bucket itself. EnderTanks has 2 modes to them. The first one is the public use and the personal use. For the personal use, you will require a diamond. Take the diamond, shift right click on it, and it will change color at the 4 corners as well as the bottom 4 corners, and this is personal use. As you can see at the top left, it says my name, and it means that only I can have access to this EnderTank. This one is public use. By default, the EnderTank can be used by anyone in the server if you're playing a multiplayer server. Now I'm gonna be talking about the upgrades of the EnderTank. There are 2 possible ways of upgrading the EnderTank. Firstly is the capacity of how much liquid it can hold, and secondly the amount of speed that the tank actually pumps water or any form of liquid out or in the tank itself. So in order to increase the capacity, we would need either ender pearls or eye of enders. Ender pearls increases it by 8, while Eye of Enders increases it by 16 to a total of 256k MB. So all we have to do is shift right click, and you can see at the top left that it is increasing right now. And there we go, we have a total of 256k MB. So you can also increase the speed at which the pump works. Right now it's at 250 MB. We can increase it all the way up into 4k. So that is the 2 upgrades that this machine has. You can actually see a brown strip of wire either at the top or the bottom of the EnderTank itself. When you place a redstone torch or any form of redstone power beside it, this thing here would light up. This means that the EnderTank is actually working and the pump is being used. Alright, so right now I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of this mod pack. Right now, because of the ender bucket, we have a cow over here. Unfortunately, the bucket is unable to collect milk from the cow, so this prevents us from getting an infinite amount of milk. However, if you can see here, it is empty at the top left, but if I were to go ahead and collect the water, you can see it increases. And we can see it at 5k right now, and we'll look here, the EnderTank itself. If you can't actually see it at the top left, just right click on the EnderTank and you can see how much water there is inside, and right now it's at 5k. The next disadvantage that I'm going to be talking about is actually the positioning of this strip over here of where the pump actually works from. If I were to place it down, facing downwards, the strip is actually facing upwards. The pump is where this area works. The bottom does not have the pump that's working. So in order to have it placed properly, if I were to place a stone here, right click on that, this strip is actually over here. There is no easy way to actually change the positioning of the EnderTanks. So a way that we can actually change this is by including immersive engineering and using an engineer's hammer. Shift right click and we can actually change the position. But if you don't have immersive engineering mod pack as well, you don't have the luxury of actually changing the position like I have done. So after familiarizing ourselves with all the crafting recipes and know what they are all about, now we need to know how to use them. Alright, so now that I have an ender bucket, I have an ender tank over here that is empty. If I were to shift right click on this, it works on any types of ender tank with different codes. So this one's BBB, shift right click, my bucket becomes code BBB as well. So if I were to go to survival mode over here, and then right click on the water, it collects up the water and it goes right into the tank. If I were to go ahead and pick a lava, it doesn't work because this one already has water inside of it. In order to remove the water, all we have to do is just press shift, right click, and it pours out the water that we have on the bucket. If there is any more water into the tank, we can actually pour out as many water blocks as possible, but right now, since I only have one, therefore we can only pour out one. So let's say we want to try it on the lava. All we have to do is empty the tank, make sure that there is nothing inside. Go ahead, right click on this and it actually goes in. Lava goes in. So there's a total of 1k lava inside right now. So if I was to just go ahead and take all 4 of these guys, there is a total of 4k over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys here real quickly is we can actually put it down 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So that is how it works. So the final thing I'm going to show you guys is how the pump works. So for the pump, unfortunately for this mod pack alone, you cannot use the pump in any way because there are no pipes or tanks that can work together with this mod itself. So this mod is a supplementary. I have the immersive engineering over here and you can see that I have 2 tanks set up. The first tank represents a water tank while the second tank represents a lava tank. So you can see there is 500 MB inside and there's 850 MB stored inside right now. So I have I've labeled it as such: orange color for lava and blue color for water. So you can see here the pump is actually facing this direction. So this means that whatever we have in the ender tank is being pushed into the fluid tank. So if I were to go ahead, so right now the ender tank has 19.5k lava inside. We can see here if we were to turn on the lever, it starts to decrease, and as it decreases you can see the speed as well. We can go ahead and look over here and you can see the tank increasing. So that's how this guy works. So let me just close that and you can actually take the engineer's hammer. If you don't have this, I'm sorry, you won't be able to use the pump feature. Go ahead, right click here. I'm just going to show you guys, and then if we could turn this on, it starts increasing and starts pumping out all the fluid from within the tank. This can work with other different mods as well, and it's not just the immersive engineering, but I highly recommend you guys get other supplementary mods that this ender tank can work with. So if you want to have infinite amount of lava or infinite amount of water, go ahead and get this mod pack. I'll leave a description in the description box below. You can download it from over there. Hope you guys enjoyed today's mod showcase. If you do, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Luxy silly to you guys, and I'll see you guys again soon.